Oh, sorry, 1 second. My bad. Councilman Pataglia was next to me.
That's fine.
We can start. Go ahead, Matt. We're going right to the city manager.
City manager.
Alrighty. Okay, number one, there's a ordinance on tonight that amends chapter 117. It's regarding Johnson Park and the community garden. That's just some changes in the making a residency requirement for the community garden, among a couple other things that the city attorney has approved.
Yeah, and just to be clear, what we're going to do is we're actually going to have its own section. It's going to be a new chapter 75 because it didn't quite fit with the rest of the park stuff. So I actually put it in its own separate section just for procedural purposes.
Okay.
Okay, number two is there's a resolution on regarding Johnson Park greenhouse. That resolution is assigning Collier Engineering to do the design and site detail work for the new greenhouse at Johnson Park.
I didn't see.
Number three is a change to the ordinance regarding property tax deductions for disabled veterans. The veterans tax ordinance, it establishes a procedure for how a qualifying disabled veteran can claim the exemption from paying property taxes under New Jersey law. Critically, it also limits refunds to the year in which the exemption was claimed, because otherwise there are issues with the VA in which it is backed up, and we could be responsible for refunding considerable sums for prior years while the VA was determining whether or not the individual was 100% disabled. This was requested as per our tax assessor's recommendations. Last but not least is the CSO and stormwater parks update. I'll call up Chris Wheaton, our city engineer.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Good evening, everybody. Okay, just a quick update to our schedule overview. The dark blue items have been updated. As you're aware, the Green Street Hazard Mitigation Project had scope added, so that anticipated construction finish has been extended to April. And I've added a miscellaneous sewer infrastructure improvements project, which is currently bidding. Bids for that project are due in January. Next slide, please. Our current CSO separation project is the Anderson Street drainage area. The sanitary mains replacement began on Stanley Place last week and is underway. PSE&G gas relocations on Clay Street are underway at this time also. PSE has been instrumental in advancing some of their planned capital improvements that were planned for next year. They've moved them to the front of their schedule and are doing them now so that we can accomplish our sewer separation in a timely fashion. And Veolia is starting their water service relocations next week. No new news on Voorhees Lane. We are essentially in agreement on our change order. We just need to await project funding. With our our hazard mitigation grant project, as I mentioned, we've extended the scope for that project to maximize the benefit of this program with cleaning and televising and locating the sewer infrastructure. So the scope has expanded to now 184,000 linear feet, and we're about 57% complete in the CCTV now for this project. And we've also been advancing with the hazard mitigation project, the preliminary design and layout of the prime conveyance to the river and the possible locations for a pump station. So we've been discussing these alternatives with BCUA because it involves crossing their 96-inch interceptor in Murr Street. And so that's a major issue that we need to address in the planning and design. And we also expect to be meeting with the county on this project as well to talk about possible locations for the infrastructure that may impact county property, and also to talk about possibility of operations for the project. Moving on to the Parks project, Carver Park underground electrical is complete. The post-tension court construction is underway, as shown there. Johnson Park Sports Facility, we are nearing completion on the field house design and just finalizing that project at this time. Fashini Park, the city has decided to pursue Green Acres funding, which actually had been awarded for a portion of the project at a previous point in time. That Green Acres funding the city has decided to apply that Green Acres funding to one of the fields that's planned as part of phase 1, which is fields 8, 9, and 10 at Fashini. And so we are working to advance the work that's necessary to secure that Green Acres funding, which
One
involves.
question about Fashini Park. When we're gonna do the 3 fields, 8, 9, and 10, and then we are planning to do field number 7, and that way we can do there the football field, right?
Mhm.
All that data that we get from different places in the city, can we put that there in field number 7, and that way we can use that there, because it's clean, the sample that there, they know that's a good there. Why the reason we throw away that there, when that can be used to fill it up, to fill the Fashini Park? Because we're gonna raise it at least 3 feet, right?
I don't think it's no longer 3 feet, but we do need fill for surcharge purposes, and we do need, and there are part.
Number 7, instead, he said that he would do for free.
That's correct.
Some percent, he can do for Fashini Park.
That's correct, yes, that's been part of the
I hope
conversations.
I can see some there in the next few weeks. Thank you.
Yeah, agreed, and that is part of the plan, Councilman.
Okay.
And as you know, I'm not happy that we're continuing to let Suburban do work in the parks. They've proven over and over that they do not have the staff to support the amount of work they have in the city. They've had unbelievable amounts of delays in projects, and we as a council have asked that we no longer give them work outside of sewers. Yes, there'll be a transition period. Any engineering company worth its salt should be able to pick that up and run with it. And I believe in the long run, it will be done in less time, because they will have the staff, and it will be done for less money. Because the schedule is compensated in short. So I'm sick of this. I'm sick of us. We've been talking about this for the last couple of years. We got Burton Park, we got Burton Side Park, and Burton all over the place. We're making the same mistake over and over and over again. So I think we have to come together and within the city meeting, I'm coming to you, because I've brought this to you numerous times, that it's got to stop. It's got to stop. We're just throwing good money after bad, over and over and over.
The new project, Kathy went to the new company called.
I know, but we're just giving them the greenhouse.
Down.
I don't care.
No, the greenhouse not gonna go to Suburban.
No, we can't, but that's the thing, we're only giving a very small piece of the pie. We're awarding tonight,
That's a starting point.
we're awarding tonight to Suburban, which I'm gonna vote against, because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of it.
I hear your concern, Councilwoman, and
We've got
I'm
the
happy
data
to
support it.
I'm happy
We've
to-
got the data to support it, and we just keep doing it. So to me, we've got to make a decision on something.
I'm happy to discuss as you may wish at other times outside the meeting.
I don't think we need to discuss it. We're hearing from the
Just
council.
need to make a
that
change.
We've had it. We brought this up over and over, and we're done with this.
We haven't had one project brought to fruition on time,
No.
on budget.
Specification for Carver Park should have been done immediately. It should have been ready to roll. This would have been done a year ago. But they put everything off. They do not have the staff to support the amount of work they're doing in the city. And it's very transparent that that's what's going on.
I got one more question before we're gonna continue switching. The pipes, they are going to the river, right? when we do the separation, and then the water from the stone is gonna go right to the river, all these pipes, they go there. They can in the end a flex valve, or they don't have anything.
There is a tide gate at the end of the pipe,
What do they call?
a tide gate or a flap valve.
The
Flap valve.
Yeah.
They go like this?
There are different
Yeah,
ones.
flip valve.
There are different ones in different places. Some of them are inline, the flexible kind, like a diaphragm.
They call
And-
flex valve, yeah.
And the other ones are external, like on the head wall at Carver Park, or that you see at the CSO facilities, there's a large
Yeah, but that, the
steel.
flex valve was working good, and that helped pushing para adelante.
The video that I sent to you guys was horrific, the flooding in Virginia Park, and we didn't even have that much rain that day. I mean, I know, I think Ryan said that he felt it was just a perfect storm, but, I don't know that that's true. I think, you know, it's, all the work was done, and I haven't seen Virginia Park look that bad, it was in a video I sent, it was horrific.
That's the most water I've ever seen.
I've never seen it that bad.
And
So,
it
I
didn't
think
even rain.
somebody has
It
to-
wasn't even.
It wasn't even a big
It was like
rain.
a less than 2-inch rain.
That's my question, if they have the flex
It was
valve, or they
huge.
don't have anything.
Something had to happen, and we can't just say, oh, well, it must be the tide. No, somebody has to really look into what's going on, because it's gonna happen again.
Because we're gonna get more rain now, El Nino, that.
This wasn't even a heavy
I
rain.
know. That's the reason I made that
Did
question.
you see the video?
Yes, and I brought this up about a month ago when I went through the park and saw how bad it was down there. And I have never seen Fashini Park that bad.
For Shinny Lake.
You know, it was that bad. When I brought it to your attention, you know, how
It
bad
like
it was.
almost had waves.
I took it as a point that since we have done all this sewer separation in town, that water was now starting to come there and starting to fill up.
It
but it's
should
bad.
not happen.
No.
That's what I'm saying, something is wrong.
And water's supposed to be released into the river and not be able to get back in.
Exactly.
How many years ago were there, because I think it was before you, they put the duckbill valves in
But
there.
it has to be something very recent, because we had all that
So
heavy
maybe
rain.
they're stuck
I'm
or
saying we had
something.
all that heavy rain all summer, and we didn't have this.
Right,
Not once.
And then we had this light rain,
right.
and it was a disaster. So
Yeah.
something is wrong.
Have those valves been checked at all?
I'd have to check with DPW on that.
You need to
Okay.
check.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Okay. So next slide, please, Frank. Again, we are in the same status here on our intersection improvements for Summit and Passaic Aves, which also includes new signals at Beach and First and Central and First. We're awaiting the signals, the powder-coated black signals, which are a materials delay at this point. And then just to follow up on your question from last meeting, Mayor, regarding the crosswalks at Byrne and West Anderson, you were inquiring about why there was not a fourth.
It was actually 3 intersections. It was Anderson, Lookout, and Hamilton on Byrne. Because those were all, had new crosswalks installed, but all are different, none are the same. One is 4, one is 3, one is 2.
Okay, I'll take a look at the other ones. This one, what we've observed is there were no crosswalks previously, and with the paving project and the ADA improvements that were made, we were able to install 3 crosswalks, but not the 4th crosswalk on the south side of the intersection due to the catch basin that you see kind of covered with leaves. It's a little hard, but on the bottom right there, there's a catch basin. Yeah, thanks, Frank. Just next to the ramp there that.
I disagree, because I've seen a million times, if you see with the handicap, I can't remember what they call that, plate, red plate.
Yeah, the detectable surface.
Okay, so I've seen a million times where the left side of the crosswalk right there, all right, where they bring it out and the other crosswalk comes right into it. So you're not going into where the sewer is. You're going from crosswalk from the red pad to the red pad on the other side. Seen it all over. I don't know why it wasn't brought right across the street. In other words, you make the corners of the crosswalks merge as they come across. But
Perhaps we could do that if, it looks to me like it might be too much in the street. for us to accomplish that. We're not able to make the crosswalk cross the stormwater inlet. So
Yeah, no,
I see if we put it at a diagonal.
When you look at that, if I'm looking at that right now, if you take from, if you were looking at it from overhead, it'd be a lot easier to see.
Over there.
No, I'm saying if you were looking and see it from above. I mean, there's no difference between somebody coming across that crosswalk to that red pad than coming this way. They're no more in the street at that point than anybody, then either way, it doesn't matter to me. You're always in the street when you're in a crosswalk.
Who makes these decisions?
The traffic,
Negligent.
the traffic and the designers of the paving
Talk to them.
project.
Talk to Mike.
So yeah, I can,
Get Greg to explain.
yeah, I can review that further with Neglia and.
It just, to me, it should have been tied in and look equal. I mean, you always got two crosswalks. Technically, you can't even use the crosswalk to get across this Burn Street at one point. Because there's no, what you have to, no, you can get across, but you have to walk across another street without using a crosswalk, which
Yeah.
makes absolutely no sense to me.
That makes no sense.
So, yeah, that's something I will definitely look at more closely in the future as these plans come across my desk. Certainly, I was not involved in the review.
So this is
Right,
Anderson you're
maybe
showing
why,
here?
Maybe we'll understand why if he explains it.
That's Anderson, so the next street before that is Hamilton, then there's Anderson, and then there's Lookout. So look at all three of them, you'll see, they're all different.
We'll let Nick explain it to us.
Yeah.
If he has a reason, then we can accept that and understand it rather than just say, I don't know.
Will do.
Okay.
Thank you.
So what are we doing about the engineer situation? Are we going to actually change it or change it here?
I think anything sports related should, or park related, should go out
Anything non-sewer,
somewhere else.
there's a
It
ton of
just-
sewer work, and they're heavily in there, and Aaron is good with the sewers. So I think that's my suggestion. Let them do just the sewer work. Anything
So
else,
Are they gonna finish the projects they're doing now?
I wouldn't.
We're gonna stop them from doing the
Well,
project?
I would change it, because they're not gonna get done.
Okay.
I mean, that's just, I'm one vote. I wouldn't do it. I think that any engineer with this all can pick up where they left off. Yes, there's gonna be a little bit of a delay, very little, but they're gonna have the staff to get it done on time. And then we'll make it up on the back,
Okay.
and we'll be sure it's done, rather than getting ourselves into another car park nightmare.
Oh, you wanna make cargo park any more nightmare than it is.
No, no,
So we gotta
we're
make sure
getting it
whoever's
done. I'm
coming in
using that as an
can-
example. We don't want this to happen in Bashini Park, or any other park that we do.
Agreed.
I agree.
We learned our lesson. now
No,
we
no,
gotta-
I agree with you.
I mean, I'm only
just saying,
making
though,
speaking my opinion.
Is Vinnie going to push this issue now, or?
Oh, it's gonna have to be like,
All right, so it'll be done now, okay, all right.
So
That's what
you
we
want them, you want them off of 7, 8, and 9?
That's my
Yes.
opinion. I'm only one vote.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, understood.
that's just machine.
Yeah.
And going forward, any new work that's being done, other than sewer work, should be offered to other.
This part of the park is almost done, so.
Park is done.
Yeah.
What about Johnson?
That one, I'm gonna stay there, I leave one more week. Like I was saying, leave one more week, then I make a decision about that.
Okay.
For bringing Collier on board, they have tremendous experience with parks.
They do. Huge.
And the staff to do it, so
So
that's.
that's Neglia.
So does Neglia.
Neglia did that Belleville project, it's spectacular.
So we have alternate,
No, no, I just wanted to make sure it's clear, you know, to everyone, that's
Oh,
all.
it's clear.
Okay.
Okay. John Earl.
Okay, moving on to John Earl. Again, the roofing is complete except for the skylights and downspouts. With the John Earl building itself, we've started the site construction, as you probably observed, as you drive by City Hall, seeing the work out front there. And we are advancing the mechanical, electrical, and plumbing.
So
And,
what's the time frame on that?
April,
March
March
2023,
24?
24, sorry.
Because I'm catching flack from the seniors to get back in that M&M building. We really got hammered on Sunday on it. So we gotta, again, that thing's gotta fly. was with the St. Francis socialites on Sunday at the dinner, and they were like, when are we getting our building back? Our seniors have nothing, so we gotta get this thing going.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for a
Yeah.
very long time.
And when I say the seniors, I'm one of them, because now I found out my wife's signing up for the socialites, so.
Oh, boy, we better hold on to our hats.
But that's for old people. She goes, you're old.
So far we are on schedule with delivery for March. And the contractor at the start was optimistic for an early finish. And we are continuing with the site remediation at Fire Department headquarters, as we've discussed previously.
Okay.
That concludes my presentation.
Questions?
I made my question before.
Me too. So, sure.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
Chris?
Yes.
That's all I had.
He is back.
If you stay, we're gonna go into closed session, and then we're
Okay.
gonna mediation.
Yes, you're done. You're good? We didn't discuss anything legal yet, so we can't.
No, I'm just saying, Chris needs to come to closed session with us.
Okay, I need motion to go back into closed session.
No, we have to.
No, we got
Motion open to the public, my bad.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And opposed?
Good evening, Marty Smith, Prospect Avenue. I'd like to start by wishing you all a happy holiday season. I hope the year has been a good one for all of you.
Thank you, sir.
And I'd like to thank Ms. Wheaton for the project information she provided concerning the traffic safety upgrades for Prospect and Atlantic Street. I'm sure that once these are put in place, that location will be a safer intersection for pedestrians and drivers. So thanks very much for that. And to Mr. Caruso also for being kind enough to provide me with a copy of that project. He's a man of his word. The first order of business is our advisory board would like to recommend that the intersection of Prospect and Central, Summit and Central, and Prospect and Passaic, where there exists left turn lanes, that green arrows be attached to the existing signals to make left turn lanes safer for drivers making that maneuver. We have many areas in the city that have dedicated left turn lanes that have green arrows, but those locations do not. So I think we should have a certain level of standardization. Once something exists, there's no reason why certain locations should be missing these things.
Give me those intersections here.
Yeah, Prospect and Central, Summit and Central, and Prospect and Passaic. The next thing I'd like to ask, I understand that the city has jurisdiction over certain streets. Can you tell me, Summit Avenue between Passaic and Spring Valley Avenue, is that under city jurisdiction or county?
City.
City. So my question is, based on that, knowing that city streets here in Hackensack have designated speed limits of 25 miles an hour, why does Summit have a 35 mile an hour speed limit?
Is it 25 at the area you're talking about, or 35?
35 between Passaic and Spring Valley Avenue on Summit is set at 35 miles an hour.
We can check.
Check on that. I thought it was 25 from Passaic to Spring Valley, but I could be wrong. But I know it's 35 coming back the other way.
Passaic to it.
And the other last thing, since my time is running out, Summit Avenue has recently been resurfaced, relined, but there are 8 intersections that have no crosswalks between Passaic and Spring Valley Avenue. Most of these are T intersections. And I'm assuming that maybe they have not been installed because they're lacking sidewalks on the west side of Summit Avenue. So I don't know if it would be possible to install those crosswalks or not, considering that fact.
Okay.
That's something we will look into. Mid-block crosswalk, I know sometimes they're necessary, but I'm not a big fan of them sometimes, because sometimes with especially speeding on that street, it's pretty bad. But we'll look into it. I don't know that I would recommend doing it on every block,
Right.
you know?
Okay. We do the best we can.
Yep, I appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank
Smith,
you.
have a happy holiday to yourself.
We can be back the 19th.
Yeah, but you wish us happy holiday, wish it back.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else from the public?
Mr. Seven?
Seeing none, Mr. Sobo's gonna come up later, I think. Motion to close.
Offer.
Second.
Roll call?
Councilmember Rodriguez?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Canestrino?
Aye.
Councilmember Pataglia?
Aye.
Councilmember Carroll?
Aye.
Mayor LaBrus?
Aye. Okay, we will be back out at 8 o'clock.